So we have a database. Now we need to get a container or container image deployed up to Google Cloud. Well, there is a gcloud command for that. We could also do it using the container registry. We could upload it via the web page here, but doing it with the command line is a little bit more straightforward. So we are going to be prompted to enable this API when we do this command though. So gcloud builds. Why it's builds, I don't know. Why is it plural? But I guess you can upload multiple images. So submit --tag, and then the address of the registry, which is gcr.io, and then slash, and then the project ID. So if I come to my notes, and it's really handy that I took notes on this, isn't it? I can come in and take the project ID. So I'll paste that in there, and then slash, and I need to give the image a name. I'll call this task list API. That seems like a decent, I'll do an underscore because I'm not sure if a dash works. And then, where do I find the Docker container here? Well, that's going to be a dot. It'll find the Docker file there. And then I can do -- project, and I can say what project I'm working with. So again, the same project ID. I've already set the project, so this is kind of optional, but if you forget to set the default project with gcloud, you're going to have to do this flag with every command. So I'll hit enter. That's going to run. It's going to say, hey, this API is not enabled. Would you like to enable it and retry? Yes, I would. It will not ask me again for this project. So it's enabling it, and this is going to run, and it's going to take a few minutes. So I'm going to pause the video and resume when it's finished. Okay, so it's finished, and if you scroll up, notice it's basically doing the same Docker commands that you put in the Docker file. So it's building a Docker image, but it's putting them on Google Cloud. And if I go back to the Google Container Registry, and if I refresh here, go ahead and leave page. So, let's see, because it should be, yeah, there it is. You can find your image there. So we can look at it and see all sorts of information about it if we wanted to. We can also delete it when we're done. Okay, so we have an image on Google Cloud, but we're not running it yet. So we need to publish the image. Well, again, we can do that pretty easily we can do it with the console. So I could go to Google Cloud Run and do things with the console here, but it's pretty easy to do it with the terminal. So gcloud run for Cloud Run, deploy, and we can give our app a name. So I'm just going to call it task list API. I'll just go to the next line and do --image gcr.io / and then my project ID / and my image ID. And I forgot what I called the image ID, so I can come back and go to the container registry. So task list _ API. And another, I'm just going to put the rest in the next line. So 2 dashes, platform managed. We're going to make this a managed application. Let gcloud manage the server. And -- region, not retin, region. And so if I go in and so I think it's, well, let's look up the regions. So if I go into gcloud regions, I just need to know how the US Central one is basically typed out. US Central 1. So US-Central 1. That should be something I put in my notes. So I'm going to come in and put in my notes. Okay. And so we got another line. -- allow unauthenticated. So allowing somebody who hasn't logged in to hit the URL that we're going to publish to. And -- project. And I need to put my project name, or project ID, I should say. So project ID, the unique ID for the project. And that now I should be able to hit enter and watch it run. It is going to ask me to enable the Cloud Run API. Yes. And let's let it run. Okay, so our app is deployed, and it's even giving us the URL for the app. And if you want a different URL, you can learn how to do DNS, and you can give it an alternative URL. But if I come in and run it, it's going to say service unavailable. Oh no, what happened? Well, we haven't done a couple more things. Nothing's ever simple, because Google has a lot of things locked down. So we're going to need to go to Cloud Run, and we can find our running service right now. And we're going to want to enable network connectivity so it can connect to Postgres, because that's really what's happening right now. It can't connect to Postgres. We also need to tell this thing all the environment variables it's going to need to use. So, task list API. So, I'm going to click on Edit and Deploy a New Revision, because we need to give it some features. So most of this is okay, but if I go to Connections, I need to do a couple things. I'll add a Cloud SQL connection, so I'll enable the API. And my task list instance for that. And I'm also going to go to this VPC connection, and I'm going to click on the Create Serverless connector. So that'll open this up, and I'll create a connector. And I'm in the wrong project because I'm on the wrong account because it opened another tab. Thank you, Google. That was not confusing at all. So serverless VPC access API. So I want to enable this so it can access, use what's called a virtual private cloud for a secure way for the two services to contact each other. So my Docker image can talk to my Cloud SQL. So that'll run. It'll take a few moments. And I can name it. I'm going to say task list API connector. That's all fine. And this thing, it's going to give you, if I pick a custom IP range, they'll give you kind of a demo one here, which you can just use. So 10.8.0.0. Because if we look at my private notes, my private database IP, it's on a 10. network, and so we can give it a 10.8, and this will work. So Oh, it has to be lowercase, so lowercase t. So I'll create that. And this is going to take a little bit to run. And once it finishes, it's going to let me then go back to my Cloud Run, and I'll be able to pick a connector. So that's running. Let that finish before I set it up with the connector. I'll pause the video, resume when it's finished. Okay, so it finished, and so I can go back to this tab, refresh that, and here's my connector. So I'm allowing a Cloud SQL connection and a VPC connector, and I'm going to deploy this revision immediately, which I should not have done because I still have yet to give it environment variables. So do not do what I just did. Instead, I'm going to re-edit again. So it'll still keep my connectivity settings. But I'm going to go to variables. And meanwhile, I am going to, in my Docker Run app, I've got all my environment variables there. And here, I'm going to add some variables like port 8080. Oh, that one Google's going to give us already. So db user and db pass and db name, but I have to spell it correctly. And db host, and this time it's going to be different because I'm going to use the private IP. So I'll fill that in a second. And db port 5432, and the host, if I look back at my notes, oops. Private IP, because I wrote it down like a sensible boy. It's there, and I'll deploy it. It's going to take a little bit for it to deploy, and once it's up, I should be able to see it running. So now it's getting 100% of the traffic. So if I go, yay, it's working. And if I do /tasks, it'll be an empty array, which is fine. And now we've deployed our app. A couple of things. It would be very handy to take this gcloud deploy command and turn it into a script. So I could come in here and go to my scripts folder and make it gcloud deploy.sh. Hash in front and put that in, and then make another one for gcloud build.sh, and hit the up arrow again. This stuff so it goes into further lines. Just spread it out a little bit. So we've got a script files that will both deploy and build the app for G-Cloud. So that way you don't have to memorize the command. All right, so now we have a running app on Google Cloud. The last thing I will say here is that none of this stuff is free. The longer your app runs and the more traffic it gets, the more it's going to cost. Now, you may think I have $300 in full credits. But if you forget about this, and then 2 months later you get a bill for $100, that's a problem. So, if you want to make sure you're not going to get billed because you've deployed and now you're done with this whole thing, we can come into here, and if we go to the project, actually I'll just go to the home page here, and the project settings, I can now shut down this project. And I will no longer get charged. So I'll put in the ID of the project and shut it down, and that means it will stop billing me for this project. And that's because I like my own money. All right. Well, I hope this has been helpful. If you see ways to improve this lesson or problems with it, let me know. I'm happy to work on improving this. I'd like to make a follow-up lesson for deploying Dockerized apps on AWS. So if this was useful and you'd like one on AWS, please let me know.